Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Wanted to thank you, first of all, for stopping by and checking out what we're getting up to today. So we'll get right into it. The first thing we're going to do today is our rounds in the off-leash park. So make sure that everything in there is all clean and tidy after the weekend here, just so that we can make sure that it's nice and clean for all of our guests that are coming to use the parks today. So I'll get to working on that here right away. Okay, park number 1 here. This is aptly named the Field of Dreams. So as you can see, this park is just a wide open space for people who are able to throw their ball for their dog and not have to worry about any obstructions when they're playing. There is on the far side here a little gazebo and a picnic table for people to hide under if it's sunny or rainy, whatever they want to do, but there we go, just an absolutely wide open and beautiful park here for the dogs. Alright, here we have the second park for today. This one we've called Adventureland, and as you can see, there are a lot of obstacles for the dogs to interact with. Great for dogs who need something a little bit more than just a ball to play with, and great for the owners too, gives them something to work on as far as agility is concerned or stuff like that. There we go. So like I say, one of the biggest things about making sure that the parks are safe and clean for our clients is to do daily checks just to make sure that there's no landmines kicking around, to make sure that everything's all picked up. Also just to make sure that all the obstacles are in good repair and that there's nothing that can hurt the dogs when they're in here playing. And so it's just about going around making sure that everything's safe. We can see the maze here behind me, which I think is probably one of the more popular obstacles for sure, especially if you get little kids in there. They can play in there with the dogs, and I think everybody has just a really good time all together. It's going to be a pretty slow day in the park today. It's around minus 20, so it deters a few people from coming out to play with their dogs, and that's completely understandable. But I'm going to keep moving on, get to the next park here. Hello. Okay, we are now into park number 3. This one we call Enchanted Forest, and it's fantastic for a lot of different dogs, especially the ones who like to just put their nose to the ground. You can see in here there's lots of trees and bushes for them to sniff around in. Gives them a lot of stuff to do without having to worry about losing a ball or whatever like that. So all wrapped up here, got the garbages, did a good walk around, and ready to move on to the next one. Okay, heading into the last park now. We did over the weekend have quite some strong winds, and that led to a rather unfortunate occurrence here. So I'll just spin around, and as we can see, one of our porta potties decided to take a little nap on us. So I'm going to try to get that righted and probably cleaned up. Might be a bit challenging because, like I say, it's about minus 20 right now, so I don't know what we're going to get into when we get in that unit, but I guess the best thing to do is just to start on it. So I'm going to get that cleaned up here right away. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Thank goodness it's been so cold out that everything was already frozen solid before the wind decided to tip her over there. So it just mattered of writing it and tidying up a few things in there. But one of the more unique aspects, I guess, of what it is that we do out here. So yeah, we get that strong westerly wind, which is great because it brings in a lot of warm wind with the Chinook. But sometimes we end up with tipped over porta potties, which not my favorite thing, but it's also not the worst thing. So let's keep going on to the next park. Okay, so that's it for the morning outside. We got all the parks cleaned up, all the garbage has been changed out. We did a quick walk through in all the parks, and I think we're all good to go for the rest of the day here. So I'm gonna wrap up here, take the garbages to the dumpster, and then we'll move on to the next thing that we're working on. I'll say a little bit about it now, I guess, but as far as what we do on the property here, the off-leash parks are like one piece of the overall puzzle. So I've taken you through the photography studio to show you a little bit about that we do. I've taken you through the marketplace a little bit, and then into the plant room and the propagation and that sort of thing. So what we do here, I guess, on a whole, is not really just one thing, but it's a lot of things that work together in order for us to be able to, keep our family afloat. So I just wanted to bring you along with a little aspect, or one piece of the puzzle rather, and I'll continue bringing you along and keep showing you, I guess, what we're doing. But the next thing we're going to be working on right now is it was another busy weekend in the photography studio. So I'm going to go up there, make sure that everything is clean and fluffed up nice, making sure that it's going to look good for the next group of people that want to get in there. So I'm going to head over to the photography studio, get that all cleaned up, and we'll keep on going. Okay, just got to the photo studio and it looks like we've had a little bit more snow. So I am going to shovel real quick before we hop inside there. So I'll get that taken care of. Now I'm in the photo studio here, so quite a contrast from what we were doing outside, but that's okay. Like I said earlier, it's all just part of what we're doing on the farm here to make ends meet, really. So this is just another avenue of revenue that we've decided to put together here, and yeah, a completely different group of clientele, but that's okay. The diversity is really what makes everything work so well together. So it's just after a busy weekend here, so what I'm going to do is take you around and just tidy things up. I like to call it fluffing the studio. So making sure that the floors are clean, making sure that all the bedspreads look good, that the carpets look really nice, and just making sure that it's really presentable for when people come in here. At the end of the day, that's the most important thing here. So I'm going to get started on that here right away. we go. The studio has been fluffed and it's been cleaned up and ready to go for the next group of people that want to use it. So yeah, next thing I am going to be moving on to will be cleaning up after our Santa event that we had the last couple of weekends. So yeah, that was a great success. You know, I think we had over 400 kids that came through there over the last 2 weekends altogether. So all in all, it was, I think, really, really fun for everybody. So I'm going to go get that area cleaned up and tidied up so that way it's ready to go for the next thing that we want to do. I will go over there and get working on that here. The last thing for us to do here now is to tear everything down and get it cleaned up. So these chairs will have to go back up to the studio. All the trees behind me here are going to have to get taken down and put into storage, the backdrop into storage, and then the two wings where we had most of our events taking place, so the crafts and then the market, are going to have to be cleaned up and dismantled. So that is what I'm going to be working on here in the next little bit. I'll get that all cleaned up and we should be ready to go for the next thing. So here we go. Alright, the next thing I'm going to be working on is going to be propagating some pothos. So it's very straightforward. It's not going to be a how-to or anything like that. Just basically a little bit of me propagating some pothos here. So I do a lot of propagation on the farm to help supplement our income. It's just another thing that we do here to help keep the bills paid and all of that sort of thing. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with how to propagate these sorts of things. There's lots of great resources out there online that you can check out if you're interested in. Basically, I'm just going to give you a quick and dirty how I do it, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll give you a little bit of a show here, and we'll get going. I'm going to find one of these long tendrils, and I'm just going to snip it back. Let's see if we can see that. Just back up closer to the plant. So just going to give it a cut. There we go. So at every junction where there's a leaf coming out, there's also a little dormant root shoot. And that's basically what's going to shoot out a new root for propagation purposes. So once we take our cutting, like so, I'm just going to cut them up into their individual lengths and then stick them in our water here, and we're good to go. So I'll get that moving here. Okay, there we go. So that's 20 cuttings all ready to go and to be put into the water here. So I'm just going to carry on and get everything else done here. Okay, there we have it. 20 cuttings put into the water here for some water propagation. So I'm going to let these sit in a nice warm, indirect sunlit area for 4 to 6 weeks. The roots will start to grow out of those nodes and we can pot them up and get them ready for market. So I'm just going to carry on with the other guys here, and we'll fill you in at the end here. Okay, there we go. So as you can see, I've got all those pothos cut now, and we did, there's 12 jars at 15 plants roughly a jar, so I think that works out to 180 cuttings altogether. Math is hard. But so they're all right down here. Got them under grow lights. I'll make sure that their water is nice and fresh for them to root. And yeah, in about 4 to 6 weeks, we should be able to pot those up. So I'm looking forward to bringing you guys along on that journey as well. Alright, well I think that's where I'm going to leave it today. So I want to thank everyone for watching and stopping by and checking out what we got up to today. So whatever it is that you get up to for the rest of the day, I hope you have a great day. So take care everyone, thanks again, and until next time, we'll catch you later. Bye now.